Hey everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the Intentional Life Podcast. I'm your host, AJ Selby, with my wife, Amy Selby, and we are so excited to be here. Thank you so much for coming and checking out our very first episode.
So exciting. I didn't know if I was supposed to talk or not.
Yeah. No, and that's, y'all, just thank you for being here. We're figuring this whole thing out. This is something that we feel like, this is something that's been on our hearts for probably the last year and a half or 2 years. And as we just welcome you to be a part of this journey as we're figuring this out. Sure, there's going to be some awkward moments where we're figuring things out and stumbling across things, but we're very excited to be here. And so, Amy, why don't you tell us a little bit about what the Intentional Life podcast is about?
So our focus and our idea behind calling it the Intentional Life Podcast is we love having conversations about, doing life intentionally, to put that in a really quick nutshell. But when it comes to primarily like just relationships, because that is what our life is made up of, is relationships. So whether that's your marriage, your dating life, your family members, your coworkers, whatever that looks like, relationships are vital, part of our life. And so being intentional with that and being intentional with our walk with the Lord, being intentional with, just all these different aspects of things, how we speak to one another, all of those things. So we love having those kinds of conversations with each other, and with other people as well. So we wanted to bring you guys into that and share that with people. So,
yeah, I feel like, Amy and I find ourselves a lot of times having those kinds of conversations with people, whether it's about, no matter where they are in life, whether that is about their marriage, like Amy's talking about, or about somebody trying to find their purpose and their calling and what it is that they're supposed to do in life. And we've just found ourselves in so many of those conversations that we wanted to be able to have a platform that where we don't have all the answers, but we want to be able to come alongside people and help them figure out just life. And what we've recognized is that the more intentional you are in life about what it is that you're focusing on, where you're trying to go, who you're trying to be around, who you're trying to become, then it's much easier for you to begin to gain traction and to have positive outcome in any area of your life that you're looking at. And so, yeah, and real quick, so this beautiful space that we are recording in is owned by our buddy Zach Ford, and at Enter Square in Columbia, Tennessee. We're right on the corner near the entrance of the main square in downtown Columbia, and so you may hear some road traffic. We're going to do the best we can with trying to get some of this out in post, but we can't. We wanted this to also kind of feel like you're sitting down and having coffee with somebody. We're just sitting here hanging out, and part of sitting down at the coffee shop and hanging out with friends is that there's traffic, there's people walking by, there's talking, there's honking, and so we've just
hopefully not angry honking.
Hopefully not angry honking. Yeah, we're just kind of trying to embrace. We're just embracing that it is what it is. We love this space. We're super grateful that we're able to be here. So big shout out to Zach Ford. Thank you so much. And so, Amy, why don't we just jump on in and let's share a little bit about us, a little bit about our story, and to give people a little bit of background. So it's always interesting to hear you talk about it, but so where did we first meet, and how did we get together?
We met working in full-time ministry in the mountains of North Carolina, tucked away in a small town. I'd already been there for several years, and then this handsome fella showed up. And there's our story. No, I'm just kidding. No, you came. We were both on staff about, 6 months after you got there, we started dating.
Yeah.
And then
I got there in July and we started dating in December.
On December 8th. And then December 8th, the next year, we got married. That is like the shortest version of our story I think I've ever told.
Yeah. And I mean, she's not wrong.
I mean, in episodes we'll go in depth about different aspects of that, but
yeah, we'll go in more depth
brief overview
at some point. But yeah, so this December we'll have been married for 7.
Excuse you.
Not 7. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead. At least I'm not short. At least I'm not shortchanging us.
We're at 4.5 right now.
We'll have been married for 5 years this coming December, and man, it has been a
feels
week.
Like 7 sometimes.
It has been a week getting ready for this podcast and with work and all this stuff. So I don't even know where 7 came in. I think I know where 7 came into mind.
Okay.
7 was the amount of years that you were at the ministry.
That's true.
That's what it is.
That's funny.
Guys, this is real life. We're doing this live. And this is some of what you can expect to come. We don't want for this to be fully, completely polished. This isn't always going to be, super perfect, cuts, takes, all this stuff. We just want to catch real life, because if we were sitting here talking and hearing ambulances go by,
I was like, what is that?
I think it's some type of emergency vehicle. But if we were sitting here talking, then this is who you get. We want for us here talking to be as genuine and real together here on video or podcast, wherever you're listening. We want for that experience to be the same as if it's in person. And so,
yeah.
And so at a part of the intentional life is that Amy and I are actually both certified life coaches. And so that's something that we love doing. It's just kind of where we've naturally fallen, where we've found ourselves in mentorship conversations and things like that. So we did the work and just got the additional training so that we could better serve the people that we found ourselves in daily ministry with.
Yeah.
And it's one thing that we love to do. I love working with young men that are trying to find their purpose and calling in life, as well as being somebody that is just a cheerleader to people when they feel like they don't have a lot of people around them that may be as supportive or are just not the best influences, or providing them with the resources that they need so they can succeed at what their dreams are. Amy, why don't you share a little bit about the people that you like working with the most, and then we can talk a little bit about some of the marriage stuff that we also do.
Yeah, I mean, primarily my heart is with young women and just navigating through relationships, dating, early marriage, all of that, and especially women who are or have been in ministry, because I know what that looks like on a day-to-day basis, and all of the things that are wonderful about that and the parts that are hard or difficult or things people may not understand about what that means for you when you work in full-time ministry, especially when you live on campus like we did. And so I love helping specifically young women working through that and just walking with them in their relationship with the Lord. So yeah, that's kind of where I tend to land. And we like to talk to married couples as well.
Yeah.
We love doing that together.
Yeah. When it comes to married couples, any of our coaching or mentoring that we do, we really like to we like to approach it from a team approach where we do better at serving people together. Mm-hmm. When we serve alongside each other with a couple, we always find it to be more beneficial. There may be times that we meet one-on-one individually, like Amy goes off with the wife, I go off with the husband, things like that. But we love being able to do that, and her and I come together so that we can kind of get each other's perspective on how we can help this couple. And then we do the same thing with being able to bring them together where they're able to then talk together about what they spoke with us individually. And so that is that's just kind of our approach. That's how we do life. That's what that's just where we're at. That's what we're thinking. And so yeah, it's this is super exciting. Like I said at the beginning, this is we've been thinking about this for about a year and a half or 2 years. And it's very exciting to finally actually
Put
be
feet
in
to it.
studio,
Yeah.
put feet to it, be in front of the camera.
It's wild.
And so, yeah, we're super excited to be here. This is one of the first shows actually being put out by our production company as well. We have a production company called Four Quarters Media Group, and we're just working on kind of building a network of shows that are entertaining and also help people along the way. And so this is an exciting venture for us as our personal show, our personal podcast, as well as just getting to build this company and be a part of everything that we're doing with Four Quarters. And so
it's exciting times for us.
Absolutely. And I know life has been pretty crazy for us recently with some of your job stuff.
Yeah. I don't know where you're going with that.
Well, I mean, it's just it's fun to kind of give the lead up to how we're finally right here in that, we've been in Nashville for 3 years.
It'll be 4 in September.
Yeah. So 4 years. By the time you're seeing this, we'll probably have already hit the 4-year mark. And so we moved here 4 years ago, and just because we felt like the Lord was calling us to Nashville. And I think as many people find themselves trying to just find their purpose and calling and follow the Lord in life, then we found ourselves in that same position 4 years ago where we left a ministry that we loved. We still love them dearly. They have done such an incredible amount of work. They poured so much into us that is part of why we have the heart that we do about working with young people, working with couples and families. And for us to come to Nashville was a big move. And we've seen some things that we felt like the Lord called us to in Nashville come to fruition. And there are some things that we felt, like you said, that we have no inkling on if or when they'll happen. And as we've gone along the way, I've had the opportunity to find myself in an incredible job. I work with incredible people that strive for excellence in their work and their relationships within their work, and that's been a huge impact in my life. And then Amy has had
a few different jobs since being here.
A little more of her road's been a little more rough than mine.
Well, the companies I worked for were great. The people, I loved the people. It was just the jobs I found myself in were not really good. I was not a good fit for, I should say. But and
I mean, I think that's some other stuff that we'll cover along the way in this podcast too, is that trying to navigate when you feel like you're called somewhere and you don't know how to fit in and you feel like you're a fish out of water.
I was literally thinking about that phrase.
It's like we're married or something. So, but yeah, just feeling like you're a fish out of water and not like knowing where you're called to.
Yeah.
And knowing in your heart that you've heard from the Lord and not knowing what the fruition of that is going to look like can be sometimes discouraging. Like if we're really honest, sometimes it's really discouraging and frustrating, and you're just like, what the heck is going on? And, we've navigated some of that along the way, but it's really exciting to be at this point where now, I mean, how are you feeling about your role with Four Quarters and where we are with all this at this point?
Oh, I'm so excited. I was telling you earlier this week, like, I feel, what was the word I used? I think lighter was the word I used.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel as heavy. It just feels, and I think another phrase I used was like, feels like I'm in a sweet spot. Like it feels right now. And I'm so excited. I haven't been this excited about my work in a long time. um, yeah, and it feels like we hit a sweet spot starting all of this right now, and we're like at the very front end of it. Obviously, this is our very first episode. We're just starting out with 4 quarters. We're just starting out with, recording podcast and planning podcast and all that stuff. But so there's a lot of hard work to come. But oh my gosh, I couldn't be more thrilled. Like, I'm so excited. Like, it feels right. Like, I feel like I finally stepped into at least something right for me right now. And that's like, oh, this is the best feeling ever. So I'm thrilled. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel great.
I'm excited too, because, when we first met and we first started dating, and even right when we were first married, we worked together, and we worked together doing this kind of stuff. We ran the communications department,
all 2 of us,
among multiple other things at the ministry that we were at.
Yeah.
But we got to work together every day.
Mm-hmm.
And so to be at a place
well together.
Say what?
We found out we worked well together.
That's true.
Not all husband and wives can or should work together every single day in an office, but we found out we worked well together. So sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're fine. And I mean, that is an important note to make. Like, not everybody does work well together.
And that's okay.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. You can be a good husband and wife and run a household together and have a family together and have a good marriage and not work well in business together. That's 100% okay.
Yeah.
But we worked together there, and now as we're building 4 quarters, and Amy will be the primary video editor and doing a lot of like data management with all of our files and things like that, and helping us keep track on stuff. As I work on other business things and with other post-production aspects of video editing, audio editing. I've got another buddy of mine that's a part of 4 quarters that will also be, you'll eventually, if you pay attention, there'll be another show with me and my buddy, and it's going to be entertaining. Just keep an eye out for that. We'll make sure we announce it. And yeah, it's fun to get to work together again and plan and be strategic together, and strategic and intentional, because like we can't get the growth that we want without being intentional. And so it all kind of circles back. It's not trying to be cheesy about being intentional. It's just the reality of our lives, especially at this very moment, is that we can't do the things that we want to do without being intentional.
Yeah.
That doesn't apply to just business. That's in the business, that's in our marriage, that's in the work I do outside of what we do here, and just in our lives in general. Like last night, no joke, it has been an incredibly busy week leading up to filming this, just because there were a lot of last minute details that we were trying to figure out. And last night we were like, man, it has been so crazy. And I hit up Amy on the way home and I said, hey, let's go out to dinner. We're trying to save money, so we're trying not to go out as much. But it was an intentional thought to say, you and I need time out, away from the house, away from being in the middle of everything, so that we can just reconnect, spend time, relax, laugh, be goofy. We went to Chewy's.
Eat some queso.
We had ourselves some queso, some burritos. Ran by the grocery store on the way home to pick up a couple things. Found ourselves dancing in the middle of the aisles, walking down, looking for ice cream, just being goofy. But when the things that come out of the intentionality like that are often just so fun, because I don't think that we would have felt the reconnection as we're getting ready to do this and had the fun that we did had we not made the intentional choice to just go out and just kind of reset before coming out here.
Yeah. I'll say also, going back to your question about like, how do I feel about my position and recorders and podcast and all this stuff. Like on one hand, I'm kind of nervous, but on the other hand, as you mentioned earlier, we've been talking about this, thinking about this, praying about this for like 2 years. And AJ is somebody who, if he gets an idea, he's going to run with it. Like, he won't hesitate. He'll just go. He'll just do it. He'll make it happen. And I'm the one who's like, I'm going to sit here and think about all the things and process this for a bit. So I processed for 2 years, mostly because I was just extremely nervous and not sure if I could do it, or lots of questions, lots of insecurities, lots of hesitations, all the things. And so I think, and honestly, feeling a prompting from the Lord to do this, him just being like, I just want your yes. That's all I want. But me just having the hardest time putting feet to that yes. I think actually having said yes and made the decision that, like, we're gonna film and record on this day. It's on the calendar. Like, we're going to do it. We have the things that we're going to use. We have the equipment. That's when the excitement started to kick in for me, because it was like, okay, I actually said yes, not just in my heart and in my mind and with my mouth, but like with my actions. Like, we're actually doing it. And that, like, honestly, that's when the excitement went through the roof for me.
No turning back now.
Yeah. So I just wanted to throw that in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? What else are you thinking?
No, I feel like this is a good spot. I think this is
a little introductory
intro.
Hello.
This is who we are. This is what we do. We're here to talk about life. We find that life often presents situations that seem to be incredibly complex. And when you take a few moments to apply some intentional thought and action to your situation, everything becomes so much more simple. And
not necessarily less hard, but more simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're here to talk about it. Thanks for just being here for the first episode, watching, listening, wherever you are. You can find us on podcast, YouTube, Instagram. And before we close, one thing that we want to do every episode is, let me grab these real quick.
We're going to try it out, see how it goes.
So as a
I
part
think that's
of
a fun idea.
As a part of intentionality, we found that when you are intentional about how you're prompting and having conversations with the people that you're in relationship with, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your friends, coworkers, whatever it is, that it's only going to strengthen and deepen. There's nothing negative that comes out of being intentional about how you build relationship. And so we have literally, it's a jumble of cards of different things, and from different places.
Different card decks.
Yeah, different card decks. There's one set here from Dr. John Deloney, Questions for Humans Couples Edition. We've got this one. And then, let's see, we have one there's a game called Say Anything that's like just, it asks you random questions. And so it's just another fun option to have. And then there's another deck here called the And. And so this one is a couples game where, it just has different questions about your relationship to help you, strengthen your relationship with your spouse, understand them better, hear from them. And I will say, when it comes to that deck, there's some that Amy and I have read that we're like, we're throwing that one away.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't say this is like 100% endorsement. Go out and buy this, but it is fun. Just use it at your discretion.
Yeah.
Use wisdom.
We like some of the questions.
Be conscious of what you're doing. So the way this is always going to work, we're going to close every episode with one of these, and at least to try it out for now. So I'm going to fan these out for those that are listening on podcast. I'm fanning out all these cards, and I'm just gonna let Amy pick one.
Ooh, I get to pick.
So
She's Deloney's
she's
card.
gonna pick.
Ooh,
So
ooh.
she's pulling the Questions for Humans Couples Edition card,
Am I reading it?
and she's gonna ask me.
I like this question. Okay. When's the last time someone made your day, and what did they do?
Here's the hard thing about these: is it puts you on the spot. You got to think about it.
I know.
Last time someone made my
Play
day.
the Jeopardy music. It's just going in everyone's head now.
I know.
I don't want copyright infringement. I'm not going to sing.
Yeah, we can't. Can't do that. Last time someone made my day.
And what did they do?
Man, that is a good question. I feel bad that I don't have something right off the top of my head. Do you have anything in mind while I'm thinking?
I mean, apart from today, where we set all of this up and I'm like stoked right now. Other than that, yes, I mean, it's really simple. But yesterday, I think it was yesterday morning, my sisters and I have a group chat. And one of my sisters just sent like the funniest video. And I responded real quick. And then I put my phone down for a minute. When I picked it back up, I have 3 sisters. They had this long thing of all their comments already on the video that had been sent. And I was rolling. Like I had tears running down my face. I was laughing so hard. And then one of my other sisters was telling us about something that happened with her son that was cracking me up. He's 3.5 and he's one of the funniest. Oh my gosh, he makes me laugh all the time. So she's telling us a story of something that happened with him. And it's like this most simple thing, but we don't live near family. So it's not like I can just pop over and see them whenever. So whenever we have conversations like that, it's just like daily stuff. I don't know. There's just something about that conversation and how hilarious it was, because that's how it is when my sisters and I are together in person. Just something about having that conversation. Oh my gosh. I literally tears of like hysterical laughing. It was the best.
I mean, that's you.
It was like the best start of the day.
That's you and your sisters when you get together, period.
That's what I said. Yeah.
I know. I'm agreeing with you.
It's just that doesn't happen through text all the time, but it was great. Yeah.
That's fun.
So, yeah.
I think for me, it was probably sometime last week, and I called and I had a good conversation with my dad on the way home. That was just like, it was just a good conversation, and it made my day to be able to reconnect with him. He shared some really special things with me, and so yeah,
I love it.
I think that's what made my day. So awesome. Well, guys, that's the first episode. Thank you so much for watching, listening, wherever you are. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, comment, and actually put in the comments, when's the last time someone made your day and what did they do? Because we want to hear from you. So let us know, and we'll look forward to talking to you next time. In the meantime, this has been the Intentional Life Podcast. Thanks for watching. Be sure to find us on Instagram, The Intentional Life Pod.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good one.
I think that got recorded.
I'm good with that.